Japan Makes Me Scared, a podcast to the chilling realm of Japanese horror stories. My name is Junpei, and I will invite you to the mysterious world of Kaidan, exploring spine-tingling experiences that have haunted Japan. Konbanwa minasan. Welcome back to another episode of Japan Makes Me Scared. I'm Junpei, your host, and I'm gonna share various horror, scary stories of Kaidan in this podcast. Today's question is, have you ever watched the Japanese horror film Ring? For those who don't know, the film is about a cursed videotape that brings a person who watches it a horrible death a week later. Apparently, a woman called Sadako is involved in this cause, and the main characters run around trying to solve the mystery. Anything more would be a spoiler, so I stop here. If you're interested, I strongly recommend you watch the film. It will bring you a deep scare for sure. The film was released in 1998, and since then, the standard image of Japanese ghosts has been completely changed. Now, when you ask Japanese people about the image of Japanese ghosts, I believe the majority would imagine a gloomy woman with long black hair and wearing a white one-piece-like dress. Actually, I read the book which the film is based on before watching the film, and Sadako is portrayed as a rather beautiful woman there, so you can't help but feel how deep an impact the visual images have on people's minds. Anyway, today's story is about a taxi driver who picked up such a so-called ghostly woman one midnight. Alright, let's move on to the storytelling part. Episode 27, Taxi at Midnight. The original story is from Chihara Junior, one of the most famous comedians in Japan. He barely tells Kaidan, but when he sometimes does, he is one of my favorite Kaidan tellers, always delivering fresh scares with his high-level storytelling technique. This story is one he heard from a taxi driver who had a scary experience once at night. From here, I will describe I as Chihara Junior himself for convenience. This is a story that I heard from a taxi driver. One night, he was at his work and driving around in Kobe. It was midnight around 2 a.m. and the last train already left a while ago. There was almost no one around in the city, and the lights were dimmed as well. Then suddenly, he could see a woman holding up her hand a little farther away. He immediately felt strange. Why would a woman be standing alone in such a place at such a late night? But he couldn't ignore her, could he? So he pulled over the car in front of the woman and let her in the backseat. When he saw her look, she was in a white one-piece dress, had white skin, and her long black hair covered her face in a way that hid her face. Do you know about the famous Japanese horror film, Ring? There's a great character in it called Sadako, whose long straight black hair and wear the white one-piece dress. You can imagine this woman looks similar to this character. Anyway, he asked her, "Where are you going, Mom?" She replied to him with some address. But her destination was completely in the middle of the mountains. It's strange to be in the mountains at this time of the night. And also, her look. That was a time when he was kind of sure of this. This woman is not a living person. If you were a normal person, you'd probably be overcome with fear at this point. But he was a man of strong character, so he didn't worry about it that much, and just kept on driving. He was thinking like, I know. You mean like when I look in the rearview mirror, you're gone, and I see it is all wet, or something like that, right? With such casually, he would drive into the mountains. Every few minutes, he would check the rearview mirror. Oh, she's still there. But we should be gone soon. After a while, look in the mirror again. Is she gone already? She's still there. He drove on, and there was no more road in the navigation system. It's that deep in the mountains. He saw the rearview mirror again, but she was still there. Maybe I was wrong about her? Finally, he reached the point where he couldn't go any further by car, and that was exactly her destination. He turned around and was about to talk to that woman again, then, poof, sure enough, that woman was gone. He was like, "See, that's what I've been talking about. It's just another cheap scary story." As he was thinking that, "Thank you for finding me," he heard a voice echo inside his head. What? He looked back at the front window again and saw that the woman who'd just been in the car hung herself in front of him. Oh Shimai, thank you very much for listening to the story. How'd you find it? This story is very short, but the scare it brings feels so deep, doesn't it? Who was the woman exactly? It wasn't addressed much in the story, but we can think about the possibility from what we felt. First of all, we could see some supernatural stuff there, so she's obviously not a living person for sure. But she wasn't any evil one, was she? I mentioned Sadako from the film Ring in the beginning of the story, but the woman is totally different in that sense. It's just one of the theories, but maybe she just wanted somebody to find her to take care of the body. It's sure she didn't want to stay in this world anymore, but maybe still has somebody like family or friends that she wanted to let know of her death. So after she hung herself, that strong will made her spirit get out of her body and attracted this taxi driver to her place. And there's the fact that this taxi driver was not the type to run away in fear, but had the tough personality to make it to her place in the end. That's also some mysterious, but probably not too negative link that we can see here. Anyway, do you have any theory on this story as well? I've got a Discord channel where anybody can join and share thoughts and theories. Of course, I'll be there as well. I'm gonna leave the link in the description, so please join and enjoy the interaction if you would. Also, I've got my own website, japanmakesmescared.com, where you can find transcription of the story, more detailed information about the episode topic that I couldn't get to in the podcast, and more visual image related to the episode as well. To reach my website, you can simply type Japan Makes Me Scared in your browser or check the link in the description. Just one more thing, this podcast, Japan Makes Me Scared, is available on almost all popular podcast platforms like Spotify, Apple, YouTube, or Amazon Music. Also, if you push the follow button on the app of your choice. First of all, for me, it'll be a huge support and motivation, and for you, you will not miss notifications for future episodes. So please consider following my podcast as well. Alright, we're getting close to the end, so let me say one thing. Arigatou gozaimasu again for listening to my podcast, Japan Makes Me Scared, and sayonara for more children thrills next time. Bye!